3, 2. Three, two. What the fuck were you saying, Joey Diaz?
I said that once you're clean for 29 days without smoking reefer, that's it. Why go back?
What?
Yeah.
I like it.
No. If I fucking stayed clean from reefer for 29 days, I'd let my lungs fucking heal from the abuse I've inflicted on them the last 30 fucking
What
years.
about edibles? What about spray?
First of all,
the Jumbo spray?
First of all, I haven't had an edible since, I broke it in Boston September 29th. So out of respect for Sober October, I didn't do an edible. I haven't done edibles. Something was wrong with my stomach. So I figured out I was lactose intolerant.
Lactose intolerant?
Lactose intolerant. I fucking eat mozzarella cheese or milk, and I'm farting up. It's a nightmare. Yeah. So I had to cut that out of my diet. No mozzarella cheese. Light on the American cheese now. No Swiss, no more. No Cuban sandwiches.
Really?
It's fucking crazy. And then I had to cut out. The edibles would give me a weird feeling.
What?
It had just gone. It had just gone somewhere else, and I didn't like the hunger issues.
Oh, the munchies.
The hunger issues after 11 o'clock were just monstrous. Like, here I am working hard to lose weight. I'd stick to it, and then I go home. I start with an apple, another apple, a banana, another banana. Then you got to bust out the salami sandwich with the fucking it was just getting bad. I could not control it. Uncontrollable. The hunger from edibles every minute after 11 o'clock for me was uncontrollable.
Well, you get blitzkrieg. You don't just get like a little fucked up.
No, and it starts early. It was starting early, 2 in the afternoon, then pop another 2 at fucking 6.
Do you like vaporizing?
No.
No, just smoking.
If
you're worried about your lungs,
I take vapors at a hotel.
Like a vape
to get
pen?
the party started in the morning while I'm having coffee in my hotel room, writing my notes for the thoughts of the day. Mm-hmm. Because I don't wake up with hunger. See, that was my problem all those years. I would eat till 1. If you want to be a fat fuck, don't eat till 1 when you wake up, because then you got to make up for it the rest of the day. So now I have to force myself to eat.
What do you mean?
Because a lot of you guys like the intermittent fasting. I can't live with that.
What do you mean?
My shit goes up and down. My blood pressure, my blood sugar. So I could never intermittent fast. But in the old days, I'd be coked up. And I'd wake up speedy still.
Right.
So I wouldn't eat breakfast. But I'd start eating at 1 or 2 o'clock and would not stop till fucking 2 in the morning. You saw me.
Yeah.
I'd be eating those pink dot sandwiches like they were nothing. 2 meatball sandwiches at 12 o'clock. Because I wouldn't eat breakfast. I forced myself to eat, for years we was eating every 6 hours. You're supposed to eat a smaller portion, you know what I'm saying? So
yeah, that's what people were thinking.
I gotta eat breakfast. And I could eat 2 egg yolks, a piece of wheat toast, and fruit, and I'm good. Like for Sober October, I gave up bacon. I only eat 2 pieces of bacon. It's 5 points on Weight Watchers. That's all I'm allowed. But at least I'm allowed 2 pieces of bacon.
2 pieces of bacon is all you really need.
That's all you need.
Anything more than 2 pieces of bacon,
Let me tell you something.
Greedy.
When I was 418, between you and I, my wife, who's from the South, would make the whole packet of Oscar Mayer center cut bacon, the whole pack, every morning. That was my breakfast.
You would eat the whole packet?
The whole package with 3 eggs, a half a loaf of Wonder Bread, and butter, and a 16-ounce Coke to boot.
A Coke on top of it?
Oh, yeah, I could drink 2 Cokes for breakfast. Oh. Remember, I grew up on the East Coast, and I caught a bad habit early on. After my mother died, I wouldn't eat at home. I would leave and eat at the deli. I went on remember when fucking cream cheese and jelly on a roll was big?
Oh, yeah.
You know what that does to your system? Cream cheese and jelly for breakfast? I used to open up with cream cheese and jelly on a poppy seed roll with a 16-ounce Coke for breakfast for years. And I was in shape. That's the thing. You can't live. Remember that? Nobody eats cream cheese and jelly for breakfast on a roll no more. Cream cheese and jelly.
No, because people know better now.
In Jersey, in those diners, they got those bran muffins. You go in there, you get those bran muffins. They put them on the grill with butter on them. Good, googly moogly.
Those are good.
Oh my goodness! You just chop. Now I go to Yum Yum Donuts. I got a bran muffin with raisins in it, and it's got no butter or nothing, but they cut them in half on the East Coast. Those East Coast breakfasts were horrible.
Now, how long you been doing this Weight Watchers thing now?
Since December 9th.
So almost a year.
Yeah, but I've been on
11 months now.
Yeah,
ish.
11 months ish. 30
That's pretty
pounds,
good.
30 pounds.
That's nice.
And
that's a good weight over that amount of time because it's gradual.
And I didn't. And the only week I missed my fitness goals, I have to have 72 points of activity, and I only missed it one time. I had the flu.
What's a point of activity? What do you get?
So if I go to Muay Thai at 9, I only really, it's an hour class, but I only put 30 minutes down to Muay Thai training. If we do circuit training with a ball and ropes and shit, then I put whatever the amount. If it's 8 stations at 30 seconds a station.
Do you wear a heart rate monitor or anything? Or
No. I don't want to hear. Listen, I don't want to hear. I don't want to see. You know what? When I had that fucking ear infection, I used to have to work out with earplugs on. And I'd get high and go throw sidekicks for Jesus. You don't know what life is.
So that when you had the ear infection, the earplugs kept your equilibrium in balance?
No, it would keep sweat from going in my ear.
Oh.
You don't know what life is when you're working out. You can hear your heartbeat. But yeah, boom, boom. But that's trippy shit.
You know, Everlast has a ticker. He's got an artificial valve, and he puts the microphone up to his chest. You hear...
No, I don't want to hear that shit. Like
yeah,
60 minutes?
Trippy.
Like the beginning of 60 minutes?
Exactly.
Fuck you.
It's trippy, man. He's had it in there for, what did he say, like 18 years, I think? Yeah, he had a heart attack a long-ass time ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
He had a bad valve.
Yeah, but if I was clean off weed for 29 days, I might as well go for it for at least a year.
Yeah, let's round back around to that. Why? I enjoy marijuana.
Just make a comeback, just to see what would it be like.
I'll tell you one thing that did happen last year when we did Sober October and I took a month off. When I started back again, I'd get nervous.
Yeah.
I'd get real nervous.
Yeah,
I'd get scared to do it, and I'd go on stage. I'd feel real strange.
Yeah, no. Somebody once told me, a great woman once told me that if you think getting high in life is weird, wait till you stop getting high. And it's a different fucking adventure. And she's true in a lot of aspects. Right. I called you one October 2nd, one night. I got home from the Comedy Store. You know when you get home from the original room, dog. Especially when you go. It was one of those nights when I went in there and I was Rocky Balboa. I just touched gloves and I measured and I just started going to the body for 15 minutes. I remember driving up Laurel Canyon going, what am I going to do with myself? And I went home. It was like October 2nd. It was 11:30, and I started smoking reefer to calm down a little bit. And I went down. I started with Sign of the Times by Prince, and I just left it on autoplay, and it just took me into a Prince fucking cave, and I ended up on Beautiful Ones when he starts singing, Do you want him? And I called you up. I'm like, this is why I can't do Sober October.
Yeah.
Because I get so high at night to come down off the stage. When you get off stage, you need something. And since I don't drink, I'm scared to come up that hill drinking. I have to smoke reefer to come down at night. And music. That's the only thing that calms me down at night.
Do you write at night after your sets?
I write about what happened. Yeah, I try to write how lucky I am that I'm still performing at the store at 55. I write about that I ate a bag of dicks, but I'll get them tomorrow night. You know, like whatever just is flowing through my head while I have music on. I'm drinking a water, and I'll go in the back and fucking toke a fucking 22 hits off a pipe. And I love listening to music at night. That's my hobby.
It's a thing to, like, when you get out of the store, it's a thing to sit yourself down and make yourself work and write, you know, because you're like, I'm done. I did it. Got a good set in. I'm good. But that's the best time to write, I think. Everything's popping.
Well, I'll go home and make corrections. Maybe I said that fuck too early. Or maybe I said that and I shouldn't have said it. But, no, I won't try to write at night. I'm gone at night. Like to try, unless something's really funny.
Tired, or?
I think my brain is shot at night.
Is it because you already did your stand-up, you got ramped up?
Did the stand-up, play with the fucking kid, you know, did a podcast, talked to people all day about
Hello. Yeah, I'm using Unipin Fine line. This one, right now. It works pretty well for what I'm doing. And I'm just YouTubing Joe Rogan with Joey Diaz, since I enjoy listening to This guy's Joey Diaz is a very funny guy, so. And I just want to stream, whoever comes online, even if I'm alone, doesn't matter. I want to finish this drawing today, so I'm just gonna keep on going, even when I stop streaming. I said that I will finish this drawing on the stream, but to be honest, I have other things to do, so can't really afford losing time right now. So I'm trying to not rush it and do some vegetations and then get into the upper parts and into the clouds, and then it's getting close to a finish up, this drawing. It's been taking a little bit of a long time, to be honest. Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't know when I post the first drawing on Instagram, when I finished it, when I started it. I said to someone that I think this drawing took me around 15 to 20 hours. So I guess today it might be done, this drawing. So I guess around, let's say, 30 hours of work on this one. I don't keep track, to be honest. I think the only stress I have is when I have deadlines, or that's about it. I don't like keeping track of time. It passes too fast already, as it is. Yeah. But it's really fun. This morning I actually drew the clouds. Well, inked the clouds. And at the beginning I wasn't sure what I was doing, but now I know how to ink clouds. Well, the way I like inking clouds. I don't know if that's how you're supposed to do it. This drawing is pretty big as well. No, I'm having references. I mean, the idea is mine, the layout, the composition, but then I dragged onto references and changing the references and placing, for example, I have a dynamic horse that I really like, but I don't like the head, and I look for another head, and then I combine it and I change a little bit the body and the legs, and make it more dynamic. So I do use references. I'm not that good at imagination drawing, since I tend to rush when I draw from imagination, and then I make a lot of mistakes, and I don't like that. So I prefer to have references. One thing that I like with references, sometimes I just go on YouTube and I write, I don't know, horses rolling in mud or in snow, or just horses rolling on the ground. And I just enjoy watching to see the forms and the muscles of the horse. And sometimes I just grab references via videos rather than just photos that I find on internet. I mean, in general, what I'm working on right now, I do have a photo I took in Iceland, but I'm adding a lot from myself because you can't really copy a photo with an ink pen, to be honest. It's a lot about, in my opinion, about design, a graphical design. It's easier to copy a photo with pencil because you have more values to work with. But with ink, you kind of need to be a little bit more intuitive and invent a lot to make it work. That's one reason I find inking quite hard to work with. By the way, if you're gonna stay around on my stream, if you guys want to, I mean, you know, like play a certain podcast, if it becomes too silent, you guys can suggest something fun. My interest other than art is meditating, trying to make my time pass less fast because lately I've noticed, I mean, I'm 28 years old. I feel like yesterday I was 19 moving to Sweden, and it's very stressful. And that's basically what I'm doing when I'm outside of my art. I'm just trying to don't think, leave the mobile aside, don't go on Instagram, don't think about marketing, don't think about economy and all of that stuff. I mean, have you guys noticed how fast time has started passing? It's really terrifying, to be honest. I hope it's not just me, because if it is, then it's something wrong with my head. I don't know what you guys are doing, but I hope you guys are drawing or painting or just chilling. If you guys hear my stomach, it's because I'm a bit I'm not hungry, but I just ate something and I usually have that afterwards. Yeah, I do take a pause when I have to use the toilet and I'm hungry. Other than that, I try to focus. Because in my opinion, for me, for example, I've been working on this drawing since 11. And when I started the drawing, I was, you know, when you go to the gym, you first do a warm-up. And after the warm-up, you just can't stop. You feel so energetic that everything is, possible to do. So that's how I feel right now. That's one reason I was like, okay, I'm not gonna go out in town to buy my pen. I'm just gonna keep on working until my cat wants to go out for a walk. Yeah, Leonardo, I was talking to my friend Kirsty about this, and she's doing an experiment right now. She's trying to not use her mobile between certain hours and just check on it when, presumably she needs to call someone or just check if someone needs help. Because she's noticed the same thing like me, time is speeding up dramatically, and we're so obsessed over a lot of things, I don't even want to get into it, that we forget to actually live our lives. And that's something that I want to do with my drawings, because when I was talking about you, Mikhail, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it well, you spent 3 hours on a drawing. When I was younger, I was obsessed over finishing fast. I was like, oh, I need to finish fast and post it to the world and show them what I do and connect with people. Right now, I actually don't do that anymore at all. I'm like, okay, what's important for me before I show this to the world? Let's just say, because I'm an artist, I need to make a living and people need to know about me, yada, 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 yada. So I try not to rush things anymore. And since I've done that, my art has improved dramatically. And I'm actually getting faster with things that were very uncomfortable for me to speed up. Because when you're slower, your brain has a chance to grab onto the information without forcing it into it. When you're speeding up, you're making mistakes. You're not rational of those mistakes, I think. And because of that, you're not giving yourself enough time to actually learn from those mistakes. I hope this makes sense. For me, it does make a lot of sense. Yeah, Leonardo, my worst habit, I think this is a trait I got from my father. Since he worked as a policeman, he had to have his mobile next to him, and whoever called, he was waking up even during the night to answer his phone. And I do the same thing. I have my mobile active, not even on silent, when I go to bed, next to me, because I'm like, oh, if I have a friend that's calling me and they need help, I need to be ready to pick it up. And of course that doesn't happen. And then when I wake up, first thing I do, I check WhatsApp, I check Instagram, I check my email, then I go on 9gag, and then I look at my screen. I had a morning when I just looked at my screen. That was so... That's when I kind of realized that this is enough. I have to stop this. Because this is not healthy for anyone. Eat that frog. I have so many books. Oh yeah, something we can actually do is listen to audiobooks. Do you guys know how YouTube is with that? If I listen to a audiobook on YouTube? Because I'm a bit, afraid with copyright. I just have music that plays, how do you say it? Non-copyright. So I can actually stream while having some music. It's not, some music is really annoying to listen to, but I can't always talk. It can get quite lonely. I actually do want to invite people on Discord at the point and just talk about art, listen to people's opinions. I think it's, because right now when I'm talking, there's a lag of presumably, because I have YouTube screen and the real-time screen, if I can call it like that, and I think it's a I think it's a 10 minutes delay in audio and image for you guys. from my end. What I like about this pen is that I can make this nice little bright tones when I render. Because like I said, inking, man, it's not that easy. I'm wondering at the point when I'm done with everything to just find some flat darks, because this is a 0.1 and I think it gets a little bit too noisy in some areas. So I think just picking up the brush ink and just get some flat darks in there without having any whites within them, I think that's gonna give it a little bit more volume and bring forward the bunny and the wolves on my image. Yeah, I've done a bunch of portraits. There's one video on my YouTube, but it was actually banned because again I was an idiot and I used music that I shouldn't have. That's actually done live, and I just time-lapsed it. It's quite long. But I do, after I'm done with this, my first thing that I want to do is focus on my 2 commissions that I got. I asked permission from the person that commissioned me if I can live stream them. So it's basically, I just need to make sure that the layout is correct. And that I have the composition. I don't want to do that while live streaming. And then I'm gonna be rendering with graphite. And I want you guys to see how I see the portrait, how I go back and forth with it, how I change it. Well, the portraits is gonna be like the actors, because it's gonna be a poster of this movie called Manhunter from, was it 86? And this poster, I got the commission long time ago. It's just that this Manhunter movie killed me. I admire people that can do illustrations based on someone else's ideas. I find it tremendously hard. It's easy. I think that what I'm doing is so easy because it's something that I'm comfortable with and that I know. But then, hey, can you draw this weird figure over here with very big boobers and this and that and this? And you're like, I don't want to draw that. Yeah, but I'm paying you like 2,000 euros for this. So can you draw the big boobs in there? I mean, I've never done this commission, but there are people that actually does this. I think that's the nice part of some artists that just lives off the art they want to. It's really nice, but not everyone has that chance, to be honest. So they have to do things they don't like sometimes. I'm not saying I don't like this Manhunter. I think it's brilliant. But I'm so uneducated when it comes to creating illustrations. So I'm trying to learn through this one, mostly since this person that commissioned me is so bloody patient. So I'm gonna take advantage of that in a nice way to learn through him. Yeah, I think tattoo artists sometimes they have to do the most annoying things ever. Like, hey, can you draw the portrait of my daughter on my butt cheek? Why on your butt cheek? I don't know. It's because my wife touches me there and I want her to feel my daughter close. I mean, this sounded very weird, but I've seen so many tattoos done awkwardly on people. I just wonder what the hell did the person think about when they asked that tattoo to be made there. So, by the way, how many of you guys have Discord? Because I'm thinking at the point to invite people on Discord and just talk. And maybe it can be a little bit more easier to do that. This was super fun. And why is my image going so dark all the time? There you go, a little bit more light. So what I'm trying to do is like darken the foreground and see how I can push things in the back. That's one reason I will need to create a little bit more stronger darks in my drawing at the point. And I've been looking at a lot of like ink drawings made by better artists than me that knows how to use this medium, and I've noticed that it's all about contrast rather than values, and I'm more of a value person when it comes to creating art. Like, I love having subtle transitions, and good luck making that with ink. So I've learned a lot, to be honest, doing this. I guess it's called inking. I mean, I used to do traditional inking with like nibs and ink, and I had to like pour the nib in the ink and then draw. Now I'm just using like a ink pen. I don't know how you call it. Ah, I understand, Leonardo. Leonardo Sartorelli. That's a cool name. Are you Italian or? Well, I'm happy that you are here on my stream, writing this to me, knowing that you're trying to be away from it as much as possible. Really appreciate it. Uh-huh. Never been to Italy. I've never been to Brasilia. Hopefully one day. Ow. Oops. I hit the camera. There. Oh. Now I can see how many seconds delay the video has. Yeah. I hope you guys get good quality on your side. No, I've never been to Mexico. I do have some friends there. Right now, I'm just trying to figure out what I'm gonna do with my art. If I will continue this, or if I will get a job. Because I'm pretty bad with freelance. It's really hard for me to do things in time and get into them, and that's not very good. So I think having a job, it's easier somehow. Well, it is easier. I think being a freelancer is difficult, to be honest, for me anyways. Wait, if you're from Brasilia, do you know that you guys have an atelier? I think it's in... I hope I'm not mixing Brasilia. No, I think I'm not. I know that you guys have an atelier school. Maybe I'm thinking about another school. I see. Well, Sweden is the same. People don't care much about art here. I think the places to go is like New York, LA, where the market actually functions. Sad, but it's how it is. yeah, it doesn't matter. I know that there's a lot of like concept artists and digital artists that are freelancers that lives more in like not so expensive cities. Like for example, I live in Stockholm and it's killing my budget. It's so expensive. I mean, I just have a neighbor that moved into one of the apartments that sold because I rent out from my landlord, and she bought that place for, I don't know, it's like almost 400,000 euros, and I'm like, oh my god, that's so much money, and the apartment is not even that big. It's not even worth it. But I guess if you have money, you kind of don't care. Yeah, I guess. It's expensive there as well. How much does it cost for the rent? I'm pretty lucky. I'm paying right now 260 euros for like a, I don't know, 21 square meters small little flat. Don't have a kitchen, so I had to improvise. Dublin. So that's like the capital, I guess. Oh my god, wait, that's 1,500 euros? One bedroom apartment? I mean, yeah, it's the same shit in Stockholm as well to rent out. Oh my god. No wonder people don't want to have families anymore. You can't even afford to buy a goddamn place nowadays. Either your parents are filthy rich, or you have a good goddamn job, then you can afford it, or you just live at the countryside. But to live in the city, it's not for everyone right now. Yeah, oh well. I'm just lucky, but my landlord told me that I don't have a contract, for example, so it is quite stressful. He said that at the point he will want me to move out and he will give me 3 months notice. And I'm like, oh my god, because if that happens, I'm not gonna find. Hey Kirsty! Welcome! And the thing is that if my landlord tells me that I need to move out, I don't think I can find any other good place like this for the amount I'm paying. And it's a very nice area where I live. Quite central, like 2-3 minutes to the subway. Yeah, like my landlord said that in the future I might have to move away from here because he's thinking about bringing the 2 apartments together. You've been to my place, you know what's about. And he's gonna give me 3 months in advance to move out and find a new place. That hasn't happened yet, and I hope it won't. I really like my landlord. He's really cool, and I hope I'll stay here. Yeah, I know. You can always cook for me. That would be nice. I can cook as well, as long as I have where to cook. Then it's fine. By the way, Kirsty, Is the screen? I mean, is the video looking okay? Is it a bit blurry? Because I can't really say. Now that you are checking me out, maybe you can get some brilliant Kirsti ideas on how to help me out with this thing, so people can have better view on what I'm doing. Oh, this is so much fun to work on. Yeah, that's good. There is still a bit of a lag. I don't know how to solve that, but at least, even though it's a bit of lag, at least people gets it well. See you, Leonardo. You should go and get a pizza, because your name is Leonardo like the turtles. Depth of field. Kirsti, you know that you're speaking Chinese right now to me. I don't understand anything you just said. If you were here, you'd be like, dunk, 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 dunk. Okay, done. Now we can go back to it. I think I know what you mean. I think I deselected the depth of field in the program. FS stop. And I think I don't have 4.0. I might have 5.0. I think. If I understand what you're talking about. And we all know how I function. I'm pretty not smart. Whoa. Hello, Kirsti. No, it's fine. Oh, really? That's weird. Thank you so much. I'm glad. I'm super glad that it looks good. Well, are you gonna go tomorrow to IKEA? Yeah? Okay, okay. Okay, see you. Bye. That's how it is when you have friends. They always try to help you. That was Kirsti, the girl on the chat. She's gonna help me out with this, as always. Okay, do you guys see the bunny? Yeah, the bunny's there. Kirsti, do you know what was the name of that comic book? I just want to say the reference. He lives! He lives! Do you know what I'm talking about? Apparently there's a comic book made by this amazing artist and just ink. But I forgot the name of this character that he's making the comic based off. Do you know what I'm talking about? God, what was it called? Hey Alex! I'm gonna be here for a while, just so you know. Guess you're at work again. Happy Halloween and happy Samhain. See you, Kirsti. Glad you were here. I mean, I know from Henrik that sometimes as a concept artist, when you work at a company, you have nothing to do. And I know that there's some companies, if you do your own stuff, they kind of take it under their name, so you still can't show any of those to the world. I know that EA can be like that. Okay, I'm gonna get into the upper part soon. Let's see. Let's change this one a little bit here on this side. There you go. I wonder if this will be registered in YouTube. Let's see. Oh yeah, I did. Nice. I really like OBS. I think that's the one you're also using, Alex, when you live stream. Do you use OBS? A friend of mine suggested it to me. It's really good. Well, you've always been a very good worker. You have my full respect on that. I wonder if I'll need to do that afterwards. Yeah. Okay, let's just continue and I'll do it after that. Yeah, OBS is really nice. I'm still trying to get a hang of it. On how to properly use it. Let's see. Environment, okay. Need to make sure I'm making that one straight. I think it's straight. Nah, I don't work as hard as other people. I'm pretty much of a slacker, to be honest. I don't do the right stuff, and I always complain when I don't do the things I want, and then I have to do other stuff. I don't know if you get what I mean. I think sometimes with art it's good to see it as work, because if you're too passionate about it, it's hard to actually do other stuff that you're passionate about, and that's not good if you want to make a living out of freelance. How did you get yourself going, Alex? Let's say that you had something that you particularly didn't want to work on, but you had a deadline. How did you get yourself going on that? That's good. I'm actually pretty good with that as well. I can take feedback, but when I have to start doing it, I get so much anxiety. I'm like, I really don't feel like I can do this right now. So then I just get this annoying art block, and then I can't do anything anymore. It's really frustrating. That's actually good. Some other concept artists told me the same thing. They see it more as a problem solving rather than, you know, like what fine artists like me see it. Oh, I need to make a masterpiece out of it. It has gotten a bit easy for me as well, since I am dating a concept artist and an illustrator and a comic book artist. He's been really helpful to just get me see this more as something fun, adventurous, and learning. So I agree a lot with what you just wrote, Alex, because it is true. The thing with fine art is think you need to find that niche, something that's interesting to get attention from collectors and galleries. That's one reason I think so many fine artists start working into the game industry or illustration. I have to make some changes on the drawing, so I'm just gonna show it full a bit. So right now, this is my problem. I need to separate the plane somehow. I'm not sure. The reference I have is whatever. I'm not just looking at the reference. Even when I look at it, it's like completely flat, the reference. So I've tried to keep things in the background, really thin lines, but I'm thinking if I should go darker in here, like add more lines and darken it more. Alex, you're pretty good at this. What do you think? Because right now, like the shadows, I just been doing line after line after line. Maybe in this area over here, I've darkened it quite a lot. Maybe it's a little bit too patchy. I don't know if you can see all of it. But I'm trying to figure this one out. You don't know. Thank you for being so useless. No, joking. I know that if that plane goes darker somehow, it's gonna bring it forward much more. I just don't know how to do it with the ink. Okay, I will do it. Let's do it. I will do it on this part here and see if it will work. Let's put some light onto here. There you go. I hope this easel won't break soon. Okay, you have enough light. And let's sharpen the image. So, Sergio Topi is a different level. I mean, I think this part here is so Sergio Topi for me because I also admire him a lot. Yeah. Then you have the master of contrast, of black and white, Jorge Safino. If you check up Winter Worlds comic book, that artist, holy fuck, such a talent. Okay, let's do it. I like how this drawing has become an experiment on live stream. I think it's fun for people to see, because this drawing has taken me so many hours. It might fail dramatically. Let's add some darks. Stop being a wuss, Theo. Just do it. Ah, you guys can see, yeah. You can see a little bit my head. Let's add. Yeah, I need to add some contrast. This does so much to the drawing. Yeah, okay. Let's do it. Let's be smart about it. Let's add a little bit more thickness in here. Hey, Misha. There you go. I think I've been using the 0.1 too much, and I've been very thin while doing it, and now something is happening. Just doing this and darkening, making a thicker line, actually helps a lot my drawing. Like, it's such a big difference. Oh yeah. Okay, let's go dark. I'll write it in the chat. Let me do this. I will just look for him. I know that his name is pretty tricky. Let's see. Oh, so good. You bastard. Oh. How do I copy this? Open. Copy image address. Let's see if this works. Paste. Yeah. I mean, look at those controls of dark and white. Like the second panel from the right up, that figure coming from the dark. Oh my lord. I think it's so hard to control that. When I do pencil or just oils, just put a value in there. Just keep it simple. Oh, I made a mistake. Oh, so easy to fix. But inking is just insane. Like that guy. And it's so sad, nobody even knew about him. Like Hendrik told me his story. He was recognized as one of the best amongst artists, but he wasn't that popular amongst, you know, the comic book readers. Something like that. And unfortunately he died very young, at the age of 40, I think it was, from cancer. But that guy is insane. His Conan stuff is insane as well. It's really beautiful. No, I can't really type his name. Let's see. Where does he say? Horses Zafino. George Zafino. I think that's his name. Can't copy the name. God damn it. You got it? Cool. Nice. But I really like the way he works. Like, I really want to control those nice big dark shapes. But I always get so detailed. I don't know. I find that technique really hard to achieve. Look at this foot. That looks so much nicer. I'm praising my own drawings. Oh, what an ego. Okay, so you still see the wolf? After this, I'm gonna do an oil painting and focus on the commission. Are you guys interested in prints from this one? I have found a company that is willing to, I think they just got like this huge professional scanner, but they're so bad at answering me. I wrote to them and they still haven't answered me, god damn it. But I think I'm just gonna go and do some good scan and some prints, and if people wants to help support me and get one of my work as a print. And I know that you, Alex, you already bought a painting from me. Not a lot of people does that. Wow, such a big difference. Oh, you wanna buy originals? Well, I hope you will win the lottery one day, Alex, because I know you'll buy my work. Thank you, really. You came at the right time. Yeah, I was talking a lot to like some friends, and I think you know which ones I'm talking about. And like, there's some people, because not everybody can afford to buy an original. And I actually got emails from people like, hey, do you sell prints? And I'm like, yeah, I will try to fix it, which I'm trying to. But I'm so bad. I wish I can just give my paintings to people that loves them. I hate selling myself, which is stupid. Kind of need to get that out of my system. But I don't know which artist sold, what was it, $120. How many prints did he sold? Was it close to 1,000? And I'm not saying like the artist that managed to sell that many, he's amazing. So whatever. Oh yeah, okay. Now I know what I'm supposed to do with this drawing. No, it can't hurt if you are smart on how you're selling yourself like that. I know that there are collectors that doesn't want, like I sold a charcoal drawing, and the woman specifically told me, I don't want you to sell prints of this. And unfortunately, most people wanted prints from that. I think I could have made more money by just selling prints than selling the original. But I kind of prefer giving away the original, because then I make more room for other things that I can create. So I try to think like that, even though that, you know, there's some drawings and painting that really sticks with you. Like I really miss some of the drawings I gave away and sold as well. Yeah, some people actually do that. Like I know people that sold their work and then they made prints afterwards. But the problem is that I am very bad. I didn't make a contract with this woman that bought my drawing from me, and because of that, and I also want to be a nice person, because she's such a nice person, and I don't want to be an asshole. Oh, I'm gonna just sell prints, because I promise that I will not do it. So I'm gonna keep my word. It's not fair, since she was nice enough to give me her hard earnings during a very hard time in my life to be able to buy food and materials. And she paid quite a lot for that drawing as well. So I'm not gonna be a dick about it. One thing I don't want to do is screw over the people that bought artwork from me. That's not how you want to say thank you to those people. Oh, trust me, I wish I was rich as well. There's some paintings and drawings that I would love to have. And if I had my own place, I think it will be full of like antique furniture. Very minimalistic, but I love antique stuff. I adore antique furniture. But hey, right now, I don't think I should get into buying that stuff, since I don't know how long I'll be able to stay within this place. Did you bought your place in Canada, or are you renting? should not even talk about this on my stream. Yeah, I understand. I'm amazed. Before you came in, I don't know if you were here. Apartments are sold for like 300,000 euros up to even 700,000 euros in Stockholm. Like if you want to live a little bit more central, that's how much you need to pay to be able to do so. It's fucking insane. So expensive. Okay, this actually kind of worked. I wish I can just select this part here and redraw it, because I found a very good technique here on this side. So frustrating. Okay, I will need to scratch and see what happens. Maybe that's gonna help. We'll see. Yeah, it even on YouTube it shows. That's good. Alex, I would like to invite you one day on the stream to just talk. That can be fun if you have the time. I think, as I replied to someone, between 15 to 20 hours. I think. I don't remember, so I can't really say. And I haven't worked very... I think today is the first day where I worked more than 3 hours on it. Yeah, I need to get rid of the darks in the background and keep it simple with just lines. I have that big patch over there, but that can be okay. Let's erase a bit here. Yeah, whenever you have time, I'm free, so just give me a time, and even if you can't do it, it's fine. It'll be fun to just catch up. I'm pretty much not busy at all, since I don't work. I just stay home. So you let me know. Okay, that is okay. Gonna grab onto the wolf reference. I just want to check something. The photo I have of this wolf is horrible. It's like bounced light everywhere onto him. So I'm just gonna do it a bit. Yeah, you have me on Skype, you Messenger or whatever are the tools. Not on Instagram. I'm the worst when it comes to Instagram and messages on Instagram. I'm the worst person to answer. So I think Facebook Messenger it's easier for me. Oh, that's a lot of exposure in there. I'll have to darken a little bit the screen so you guys can see a bit better. Let's see, how sharp is it? There. By the way, are you enjoying working where you work right now? Don't you miss Romania sometimes? Yeah, I know what you mean with the Instagram. I never see them in time either. There's so many people that wrote to me like years ago and I'm like, I feel bad answering. Okay, this is better already. This is looking better. I think it's hard now with getting, with winter coming in Canada. Because I know it can get really dark. Yeah, I know what you mean. Hendrik told me this as well. I mean, I know how it is as well. Make sure you take vitamin D and try to wake up a little bit. I mean, I know you wake up quite early, and somehow if there's no clouds, go out and enjoy the weather. It's the same thing with Sweden. I mean, right now it's just gray and dull and rainy. I hate it. My cat despises it. It was so hard to take her out today. So, yeah. It's gonna get darker and darker and darker. Have you started playing Red Dead Redemption? Oh. No worries. Looking so much better. That was a good decision. Just need to be careful how I do this. feels really nice. Yeah, this actually worked. Just going dark like this. It's bringing the things more forward. Yeah, it was a good decision to go for it. Mm-mm-mm. Yep, I'm super pleased with this one right now. Yeah, thank God this actually worked. Small little detail. Yeah, thank you. I actually was talking with Alex because the thing is that all the background, since I'm working with ink, is so hard to get like smooth transitions and, you know, brighter values than what's in front. So I actually went darker within front, and when I go back into the sky, I'm not sure exactly because I had a plan in darkening the sky, because I was thinking, oh, if I darken the sky, I'll be able to bring the things in front forward, but I doubt that now because this is ink. The thing with ink, sure, you can cross hatch, or how you call it, you know, to darken things, but you need to understand it's more of a graphical approach, I think, ink, than, let's say, graphite, where you can actually play more with values. So that's one reason I'm gonna think more about black and white rather than just, you know, rendering everything out. I was thinking of like, oh, maybe I want to dress, you know, work a little bit more on the dress, but it's like, how can I do that? Well, either I go darker with things inside here and not just darker but more of a flat tone. Like for example here I use the ink brush. In some areas around here is just lines after lines after lines. So let's try and do that now. Let me get my brush ink, this one. Okay, I'm a little bit nervous, but let's see how it's gonna look. Because I need to get rid of some of the white, since I'm just doing with lines, there's still some white coming forward. So let's zoom in. I want you guys to witness me if I make any mistakes, so you guys can ha 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 laugh at me all you want. There. I need to take the camera down a little bit. Be patient with me. This is just on my own doing all of this. Okay, there you go. And then this one. So ow, ow, that was my arm. Ah, that hurted so bad. And voila. There. So this is the thing, you can see that there's some small little points here and there. So now I want to take this ink brush and just darken it, because I think this is gonna make things in the front more crisper, because that's the thing with black and white. There you go. So I love this. This is one thing that I need to experiment, and this is where I guess comic book artists are insane. Yeah, it is really, because I'm more of, I mean, you saw from my pencil drawings and my oils, I'm more of a, oh, render value, soft transition and all of that stuff. So right now I need to like get my head out of my that way of thinking and just push the values a little bit more. Because I've been looking at this drawing for a while and I was like, something is missing. Something is not working. And also bigger strokes in the front can really be good. Like in the back I will have more thinner lines, and in the front I will have thicker lines, like to show how the light is falling on the subject. I mean, it's already such a big difference than how it was before. I think. Maybe I'm disillusional. I actually am liking this right now. Oh, Theo, just shut up. You're praising yourself too much. Oh, oh, oh. Oh. Oh my god, this is so stressful. Oh! Go with the flow, Theo. Stop being a wuss. It fails, it fails. You learn, you go on with life. I'm gonna work on the side of the drawing that doesn't show yet. Sorry. Just need to... Yeah, this is very helpful. Yeah, this is ink. This is not pencil, Theo. This is not pencil. You will do pencil after this one. Okay, I love my 0.1, but I think I was a bit limited by it. So right now I'm a little bit more bold. Hopefully this is not gonna turn into something bad. There you go. Is this working? Is it? A bit sweaty because of this. Yeah, I've been looking at Franklin Booth today actually for the clouds. I was having like a picture open with his work, and in the end, I don't know if it's the picture, but his lines are so in some areas the line is so brighter in value in relationship to other lines. I don't know, that guy was insane anyways. Very talented guy. Well, this is a bit better though. Yeah, I need to think in accents. I need to find accents to give more shape to my drawing. Okay. So there you go. I guess it's gonna look nicer when I'm gonna fill in this blanks over here and then create more rocks, more contrast, and so on and so forth. Yeah, I think that's what I was missing. I think I was too obsessed over soft line that I forgot to push the values in some areas. So that made the drawing quite flat. And even line quality, because I think with ink you also need to look at, you know, where is the light coming from? Oh, okay, this line here needs to be a little bit thicker to kind of emphasize shadows. And there you go. This is looking way better than this morning. Yeah. Yeah, Pedro, I think the same thing. Just going dark like that, it really helped the drawing. I think what inspired me, Alex, I think there were some people on the chat and I told them about, I think it was Alex that talked about Sergio Topi. And then I was telling him about this comic book artist that created Winterworld, Jorge Safino, I don't know how you pronounce his name. And just looking at the, let's see if it's still on my paste. Yeah, this one. Check that one out. And when I saw that, and then I looked at my work, I felt like, okay, something is not right in my drawing. And then I realized that I don't have any flat darks, because it's like you said, you have to think in ink, not pencil. So that's the mistake I've been doing. I mean, I think Jorge Safino is more about giving volumes by using dark and white and cross-hatching. Sergio Topi is more about design and abstraction of line rather than just focusing on values of black and white. That's, I think, the difference between the two. Both are brilliant, not judging anyone's style here. But what I like about ink is that you can really create a style out of it that works for you. I really like that about it. Kind of gives you a lot of ideas on how you want to paint and how you want to draw with a pencil and so on. Okay, I'm gonna leave the fun part for a while. Wait, before I go into that, let's add... Oh, you guys can't see that part. Oh, God damn it. Ow. There's the bunny. Yeah, definitely. I mean, they all... This is what I like about comic book artists with ink. It feels like each individual, like Mobius, for example. Oh, I really want to try to do something similar with like watercolors and ink and see how that's gonna look like. Okay, let's add some darker tones here on the bunny, on the back, on the neck here. There you go. Do you guys have any podcast you want to listen to, or you still have some questions for me? Because I'm gonna get into something boring. Well, not boring. Vegetation. Need to draw some veggies in here. because I want to do all of this part now, all of it. So if you guys have any other questions, or if you want to join on a chat channel, we can do that too. I was listening to Joe Rogan and what was it? Johnny Diaz. I really enjoy listening to those guys. I really like Johnny Diaz. He has a very interesting way of creating his podcast, I can tell you that. I don't know how many of you know him. Vegetation. The Church of What's Happening? You're talking about the podcast? I mean, I know how it is when you're watching a live stream. I really want people to feel like they don't need to constantly look at the screen. So I was thinking of like putting a podcast, or I do want to invite people on the stream more often because it's more fun than just watching me draw. Because I know that some of you might actually draw right now, but I just feel very lonely. I'm just home alone with my cat, so then I always thought about maybe if I do a live stream, people can motivate me to work, because I've always been more of that person that likes to be motivated by others to work sometimes. What's the time? 3:36. Wow. Time flies when you're having fun. Ah, my finger hurts. I have the tendency of pushing too hard, so then I have these pains in my finger. I'm trying to make them quite regular. Like I really wanna, even when I paint on big projects, I want to stream, invite people and talk. I mean, the majority of people, I think it's gonna be artists that are gonna join with me and just draw. I don't think it's gonna be my mom looking at my stream. She always says that she has a lot to do. so I doubt it. And I know that there's a lot of freelancers that will like to just chill and listen to someone say stupid stuff, or getting angry because that person made some mistakes on her drawing and there's no turning back. So I think that can be fun. I'm still not sure exactly what hours or how to build it. I know that I have a site, and on my site, if you how do you say it in English, if you sign yourself for my newsletter, and I hope it works now because it had some issue, I can just send a mass email to people when I live stream, or I just do what I did with Instagram. I just write on Instagram, hey guys, I'm gonna live stream, blah blah blah. So then you guys can actually join if you want. Like I want to do a bark, because there's so many people asking me about, oh, how was it when you studied at the Swedish Academy of Real Start? And some people go like, oh, is it worth for me to do this type of education if I want to become a concept artist or an illustrator, or oh yeah, I want to be a fine artist and live the dream of the artist. Is this a good school for me? What am I gonna learn from it? Blah blah blah, yada yada yada. So then I think I can actually, presumably, can give you a good advice. I need to drink some water. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I noticed Instagram is getting pretty bad. Pedro, if you can do this for me, can you go on my site and write and register so then I can check if it's actually working properly? I would really appreciate if you can do that. Just let me know when you sign yourself in so I can go on Chip Monkey, or what was Chip Mail or something like that, and see if your email was registered. Don't worry, I'm not gonna say it out loud. If you can do this for me, of course, you don't need to. And if you don't want to be in the newsletter, I can just take you away. But, I mean, I check my email more often than I check anything else. Hoping that that gallery will contact me. Hey Tara, we really like your art. We want to have an exhibition. Would you want to join us? One day. One day or another. Vegetation, vegetation. I really can't make this vegetation super detailed, because then it's not gonna be very nice for the characters, since I'm doing more of a composition rather than just a simple image. I so can't wait to get into the clouds. It was so fun drawing the clouds today. Let me check. Let me check. One second, guys. I'm gonna check something fast. Let's see. Squarespace. Login. There you go. Okay, I have 8 subscribers. Let's see. .40 a.m. So this was some time ago. Wait, today is the 31st. Why does it say 10:40 a.m.? I think this might be you. It's weird because it says that it was registered at 10:40 a.m. So what's the... Hey Alex, welcome back. What's the time where you live right now, Pedro? I think that's you. Can I send a private message to you? Nope, I cannot. 2:43 a.m. No, that's you. So it worked. Alex, can you do me a favor? Can you go on my site and register for the newsletter? So then I can check. Because I know your Gmail or your email anyways. And I think, Pedro, it actually did work. It's just weird because it shows me that you registered at like 10 a.m. in the morning, which is weird. I guess I will have to get more into the templates for chip mail so I can send a fast email to you guys when I'm doing a live stream. I'm still trying to get to know this program. Apparently a lot of people uses it to send off email stuff. Can you link me the site? Yep. There you go. And then I'm gonna get back into drawing. But Pedro, I think it worked because I'm having here a too similar name that's very close to you. So I don't know if this person is someone else, which I doubt it. Yeah, I'm glad it worked as well, because I always have this fear, because I had issues with it. I think I spent like 2 weeks trying to solve that site and make it work. And finally, I managed. Alex, tell me when you're done so I can check. Okay, let's continue with the vegetation. And if you guys want, we can put a podcast on. So instead of, you know, because I know some people like when they work to listen to a podcast. I know that you guys can just mute me and just leave it or leave the channel. I'm not saying that you need to stay with me. But I'm very grateful. Like, I'm happy, Alex, that you've been jumping in. Check on me every day. I guess maybe it will become a morning routine. Let's see if Theo is doing a live stream. Ah, it's done. Let's check. Yeah, it works. Now I have 9 subscribers. Yeah, I see you. You have the most weirdest email ever. But it works. I'm gonna test it out with you guys. If I'm gonna live stream tomorrow, I'm gonna actually send it via that and see if you guys receive it. You guys are helping me fix everything right now. Thank you so much. Veverica. Yeah, look at me. For example, I never thought about that until you told me now. Now that you told me, makes a lot of sense why it's written like that. Yesterday I just finished Daredevil. I love that show. I'm so excited for the next season. And I keep hearing from. Hey Mills, welcome back. Thank you. We just started talking about that I just finished Daredevil. And also I didn't know about this, but it's some anime on Netflix called Castlevania. And I heard that it's really brutal. I saw a little bit the trailer and it reminded me a lot of Vampire Hunter D, like a old anime that I watched when I was a kid. So I really want to see that now. I'm really excited about it. Wait, are you talking about which? Like, I know that there was a French company, I think, that was making this comic book when I was a kid called Witch. Is there a cartoon? Can you send me a link? I'm curious if that's the one you're talking about. Ah, a movie. Can you send me a link? I really want to check it out. See you, Mills. Okay, I'm gonna put something to play. I don't know if you guys will like the stuff I like.
Shit that doesn't matter. By night, I like to get up. I play with Mercy. I talk to my wife. I'll do a protein shake. I'll drop Mercy off. I'll go home, and then I go to the coffee shop. And for 30 minutes, I'll call my peeps in Jersey, check in, and then I'll get eggs at the coffee shop, bacon. Once my breakfast is gone, I write my thought page down for the day. Then I take my iPad out, and I either write a chapter in the book. I try to write towards the book, and while I'm writing the book,
you writing a book right now?
I'm trying.
How long you been doing this?
22 fucking years, Joe Rogan. 22 fucking years, you know. But I forced myself, and with the iPad, you know, there's a whole writing thing, so I could just turn that chapter off and go to another document and click on to post Netflix material. And then I got a thing that we're working on for immigrant mentality, so I think about that, I'll go to that. So now that's all great. I think just doing that exercise every day is good for me. I don't need to write comedy every day. I'd rather just go down to the store, throw something out there, and fucking get excited. And like I told you, I'm not going anywhere else no more in Los Angeles. I'm going back to the store.
No improv spots?
Especially after I shot the Netflix special and everything. It all came to me after that 10 years, and especially after she died. You know how people, you ever go to like an acting class and people refer to Stanislavski and all this shit? 10 years from now, people are going to be referring to the Mitzi Shore technique. There was something that I was talking to Duncan about it. I talked to Ari about it. I know she said something to us at one point that we were like, wow, something. I remember I was telling this on my podcast that there was a time she didn't like you doing that in the Nicole bit in the main room.
Yeah, she hated it. She wouldn't let me do it
in the main room.
Yeah.
In the original. How fucking crazy is that? That's to show you her genius in a way. Like, she was like, Joe, you can light yourself on fire in the original room. I don't give a fuck. But in the main room, you can't do that because you're killing my room. Like, the comics afterward just could not follow it. Like, they could just not follow it. That lesson right there.
It was a fucked up bit. The bit was about...
It was brilliant, but think about it.
There's no good versions of that bit anywhere. There's one version that I did that's up on you. It's terrible. It's a terrible version. There's no solid versions of that bit. But that bit was right when that guy died, J. Howard Marshall. He died, and it was all about him getting Anna Nicole Smith to do shit to him before he died. Just to earn the money.
But Father, she's trying to take your money. I don't give a fuck. I want to get my balls licked or something like that.
It was a crazy bit, but Mitzi didn't like it too because she didn't like bits that were making fun of old people because, you know, her health was deteriorating too. There was a couple of bits that she didn't like. There's a fucking picture of him. He's 1,000,000 years old, and she's hot as the sun, and she's sitting on his lap.
Look at him. Look at the smile on his face, dog.
Yeah, oh, man, I loved him. I loved that whole scene. I loved what it was. I loved it because it was so blatant. You know, it was just so blatant. But she didn't like that bit. She didn't like the Hugh Hefner bit either. She didn't like that bit. When Hugh Hefner told those, look at it, she's kissing him. Oh my Jesus Christ! Oh, he's in a wheelchair while she's marrying him. I mean, it was a damn classic. That scene of him and her getting married. She's so young and so hot, and he's so old and wrecked and rich as fuck in a wheelchair. It's such a classic scenario. It was so good.
You called her a Kentucky Fried Hooker.
Yes. I had him call her a Kentucky Fried Hooker. Right. Like, if she wanted that money, she had to do it. But she had to keep doing shit.
And then he's going, Father, he's going. And he wakes up and it's like, it's time to lick my ball. It's time.
Oh, yeah, man. I just love the fact that guy was that wealthy and yet still. I mean, I guess when you're that wealthy,
what was he worth
old,
at that time?
More than $1 billion. Yeah, he was a billionaire. He was an oil magnate, right? Wasn't he? I don't think she got the money though. I think the kids fought her. 100 million. What? That's peanuts.
It got her, dog.
Anna Nicole Smith's daughter is now the 4th richest woman in the U.S. It's what? Oh, no, it says 37 billion though.
That's the Koch brothers.
Koch brothers. Oh, I see.
He was 69th on the list.
Oh, but 4th richest woman. Do you know out of the richest women in the world? Google the richest women in the world, like where they got their money from. It's rough. It's rough out there, guys. They ain't fucking starting businesses. They're marrying dummies.
Really?
Yes.
Is that how they got
It's almost
rich?
all of it is divorce. Almost all of it's divorce money. The feminists do not want to hear this. But there was one woman who was the richest woman ever from a startup company. Elizabeth, what was her name? From Theranos.
Oh, yeah, but it took it all.
What was her name? Elizabeth something? Not Smith. What was it? Something. Holmes. Elizabeth Holmes. She ran a company called Theranos. She started it herself, dropped out of college to start this company, and it was a total fraud. It was all fraudulent. She's going to jail forever. She was worth $34 billion at one point. It was a blood testing company, and what it was they just take a prick of your blood. Instead of taking a bunch of your blood, like getting your blood drawn, her thing was like, let's just be able to take a prick of the blood, just a little tiny prick, like you go to a store, get a prick of your blood, and they're going to be able to do a battery test on you and find out what's going on. The problem was it didn't fucking work. And they falsified all sorts of data, and they lied to investors and all sorts of shit. This lady, she used to dress like Steve Jobs. She wore a black turtleneck and everything. And I saw her speak once. Here it goes. Elizabeth Holmes indicted on fraud. Oh, they got you with the fucking pop-up ad. New York. There she is. She's going to jail. She's fucked.
Oh, I want.
But she was at one point in time the richest self-made person in the world, the richest self-made woman in the world. She was worth billions of dollars.
The shit people do. I watched a thing the other day on Crazy Eddie. Do you remember Crazy Eddie?
Yeah, Crazy Eddie. His prices are insane.
Did you know what Crazy Eddie did?
Well, tell everybody who Crazy Eddie was.
Crazy Eddie was a guy that had stores in all 5 boroughs of New York, wholesale outlets,
TVs.
for stereos, TVs, and everything like that. I was watching MSNBC, Greed. They have a series called
There
Greed.
he is. Let me hear this motherfucker. I forgot
TVs,
this guy.
VCR, stereo systems, telephones, telephone answering machines, anything and everything in home entertainment, and lots of home appliances too. Remember, we are not undersold. We will not be undersold. We cannot be undersold, and we mean it. Santa knows that the best deals in town are at Crazy Eddie's during Crazy Eddie's Christmas blowout blitz. See Crazy Eddie now. His prices are insane.
He's wearing a Santa Claus outfit. He's going fucking crazy with fake snow in the background.
He fucking he hit it out of the park.
Didn't he go to Israel?
He went to Israel to hide, to flee. But the most brilliant thing he did was he took it either. Don't fucking check fact me on this. He took it either his nephew, his son-in-law, somebody that he was related to through blood, put him through college so he could get a job at the IRS, so they could figure out how to rob from the IRS. This is how fucking insane this guy was. I'm watching this diet and how they got Crazy Eddie.
God.
Right, Crazy Eddie fled after he started just buying boxes. You know how you remember years ago you'd be driving in New York and there was some guy selling stereo speakers.
Yeah.
And then you'd take them home and it was 2 bricks.
Yep.
Well, he did the same thing to investors. He took boxes, filled them up with bricks, and just stocked them in a warehouse, and then he went public. So he got everybody to come down and look at all his inventory, and all these fact checkers, they're checking boxes with bricks in them.
Whoa.
Hey, Zizzy.
He had, 5 fucking warehouses
1
all
second.
around. They were all fake, and he got all this money.
So, since it's not a lot of talky, are you guys okay with Joe Rogan? I mean, I know the characters, and I know. Oh, because if you guys want, I can just leave it silent, and you guys can play something for yourself. But I usually listen to Joe Rogan, Opie and Anthony, Chip Chipperson, Angry Nerd, Gamer, and all that stuff. So do you guys want me to stop this? Okay. If Alex doesn't mind it, then it's fine. Clutch pencil? Nope, never heard of it. Clutch pencil. That's good, Pedro. I'll put Joe in a moment. It's like mechanical pencil. No, Zizi, I've never heard of it. Can you show me a picture? Because maybe I don't know the name of it. I think I know what you're talking about. No, I don't think. Maybe I used them. Not sure. Beard? Where was I? Oh yeah, I was working here. Okay. I'm gonna keep it simple here. I don't want to overdo it because I think it's already getting too complicated, this work. Too complicated. I'll need to go back into this part again. I'm gonna put Mr. Joe Rogan back with Joni Diaz. Boop.
He fled to Israel, and he fled for a while, but they knew he was a pussy hound. Right? So they got him like Escobar style. They got him like, on the phone, like I'm going to the store, something crazy. And what they did was they put a blonde on the side of the road with a mini skirt. And they knew eventually he would drive by and stop.
No.
And he stopped. That's how they nailed him.
What is did you Google the richest women in the world?
Oh, yeah.
Where they got their money from?
Crazy Eddie. Hold on.
Crazy
His prices are insane.
He's a bad motherfucker, though. Paramus, Syosset, Queens, Long Island. Come now. And he had commercials. He was the first one that pushed the commercial barrier.
Yeah, he made fun commercials.
It was Imus and him. Like Imus had the pimp with a bunch of his hoes that would go, "Did you hear what my man said this morning?"
Oh, really?
Yeah, and he had a bunch of those. Crazy Eddie had the best one. He had Frankenstein, Dracula, and the Wolfman peeing at the men's urinal.
I missed the Imus thing because I came in like I remember. I found out about Imus because Howard Stern was talking shit about him. And I was like, who is this Imus guy?
Imus was around when I was a kid.
Yeah, it was way...
Imus was when I was
got
like...
in way late. He was
Imus was the fucking king of New York when I was 8, 9. Imus would come on in the morning and talk shit.
When I saw him, he was wearing like a turquoise, one of those weird ties, those bolo ties that like cowboys wear. And he had a fucking cowboy hat on, and his whole studio was done like the West. It was real weird.
Yeah, he got weird at the end.
But it was real. He's wearing cowboy boots and shit. It was like, are you a rancher?
Yeah,
You're doing a fucking AM radio show from New York City. Like,
poor
what is
Imus
this?
got fucked up. And they were paying him. I mean, he was on for a while.
Remember he said nappy-headed hoes, and they're like, cut!
That's it.
That was it. He called people nappy-headed hoes.
Well, he tried to compete with Stern, right? That's what it was. There wasn't something at the end.
It was definitely some of that. But he was, he was trying to be outrageous even before Stern, I believe. It just wasn't at the same level. Stern's outrageousness was nationwide. But Imus was really like an East Coast thing. Like, people knew about him in New York. I never heard about him in New York, or in Boston, rather.
No.
But I had heard about Stern. We all knew about Stern. But nobody really knew about, like, it never made it there. And then when I came to New York, it was at the end, like when Stern was already the king. And Imus was just sort of like this guy that he hated. And I was like, who is this I-man? Like, who is this Imus guy? And then he had a TV show for a while. And then during the TV show, you'd see him in the studio, and it was, no disrespect, but it was really fucking boring. It was boring. Like, there was no life to them. Like, their opinions weren't that interesting. It was him, and then there was another guy there that looked like he was just waiting for the fucking buzzer to ring.
Yeah,
He's waiting to go home, and then there was a woman that was with him. There was no life in the room. Like, you watch the Stern show, there'd be midgets shooting bottle rockets out of their assholes and porn stars riding dildos, and it was chaos. There was plastic all over the ground because the girls would be squirting. It was just madness. Like, no one had ever done. Not that that's good or bad, but it was exciting. Like, you're driving to work in the morning, you're hearing some girl freaking out because she's riding on some fucking that Sibian thing he'd make girls ride on. And like that, it was madness. So like that like you had never heard anything like that on the radio before. So then you would hear about Imus. And Imus like, well, what do we got here this morning? Oh, this nappy-headed hose. You're like, what?
Yeah, he tried to just be at the end.
It was in comparison. It was dead. It was like, it was dry.
Kennison on Stern was
Oh,
great.
God, he was amazing.
Fucking Flavor Flav, the one time on Stern. I mean, there's so many great Sterns.
Dude,
Artie was so great back.
Artie was the best back
Artie
then,
was
man.
fucking amazing. If you listen to an old Artie one, when he had just gotten off the subway, he just shot heroin, God knows where. He'd had sunglasses on.
Yeah, you'd fall asleep.
That shit was fucking insane.
And he said like that they encouraged him, but man, what are you gonna do when a guy's like that? You gonna help him? If you help, the problem with people that are that fucked up is the only thing that ever helps them is themselves. The only thing. It's like they have to hit rock bottom and then they have to decide they're gonna do something about it. But when you do get a lot of love for being fucked up, that is kind of a problem because you do start to think, this is my thing. My thing is being a fucked up guy. People love me when I'm fucked up. This is what I do. And you can fall into that.
But Belushi had the same problem.
Yep.
The other guy, God rest his soul, had the same problem. There's a niche you fall into. I remember there was a pizza parlor when I was a kid. His name was Nick the Greek. Fucking tremendous pizza, even though he was Greek. Like, we let it slide. He put the Sicilian by the window, and it was the flies would land on it. It was like the airport for the flies. They would land. We would break his balls. Nick. But I remember I went in down to Quaalude one night, fucked up to the gills with vomit all over my shirt. And every time he'd see me, he'd call me fucking Belushi. That's when Belushi almost died. And he would, for years, he called me fucking Belushi. And there was another kid who had a beard, and he called him Ayatollah Khomeini. Like, he had nicknames for us. But that's a weird, it bothered me after a while. He would call me Belushi. And when Belushi died, it really started bothering me. Like, am I next? He would call me Belushi to my face. Look who it is, fucking Belushi.
Whoa.
I was fucked up. I went in there one night on a Quaalude and opened up the red pepper and threw it at him. But I used to sell him jewelry. Like, I would sell him stolen jewelry. Me and Nick were tight. Nick was the pizza parlor 50 yards from the high school. And you could run a tab with Nick. And I used to give Nick jewelry, and he would look at me and he would go, "Speak. How much do you think that's worth?" Because jewelry was $800 an ounce at that time, gold. And I would bring him jewelry. He would look at it and then take it, give me money, and put it in one of his pockets from his
apron?
fucking apron. So 2 days later, I'd go in.
Hey, Zezzy. The Joe Rogan Experience is a podcast. That's one reason I sent you the title, so you can see which one we're listening to. And I really enjoy listening to Joni Diaz, the guy with a very rough voice. I don't know what the time is for you. For me right now it's 4:17. I'm gonna be streaming till 5 and then I'm gonna stop because I need to take a break. Been working quite hard since 11. So I'm getting a bit tired. I don't know what Ara Mex is, by the way. 6:17 there. more light. I keep forgetting that I'm not supposed to work in the dark. So you guys have more light now. Ah, so you're working like for Amazon, or is it something similar like that? I have another friend that kind of works for a company like Samsung, working in a deposit. You have to be pretty fit to do this type of jobs. And you need to be careful with your back as well. You don't want to fuck up your back. Your shipment was missing, so that means that it didn't came through, and that's bad, right? I mean, of course it's bad. I remember ordering something, but not through Amazon, through a site. That's the last time I actually ordered through a site like that. The shipment never came. And they some of this company even makes like an account on Instagram promoting themselves, but they don't even exist, and people just buys. Oh my god, it's kind of horrible. I ordered from Canada. The package never came through. I was so pissed off. Oh well. Doesn't matter. Wow. This YouTube thing has so much lag. Anyways. So it wasn't from the shop. Wait, Aramex is pretty much like the post office for you guys? If I answer really slow after I read your comment and you guys hear a lag, that's how it is. Oh my god. Well, that's not good for your teeth to fall down like that. It's worse than saying that your dog ate your homework. Oh, wait, I'm working on something else now. Let's see. So, I'm working around here now. There you go. Yeah, DHL. Thank you, Joel. I've been working quite a lot on this right now. It's very high contrast on the screen, as I can see. I need to set up the camera before, but that's one reason. I also have this little image on the left corner, so you guys can see how big it is. Not sure I understand what you just wrote, Zezzy. I have to admit, I'm pretty excited to finish this drawing. To start on something else. I'm gonna do pencils. Need to start doing other things. Well, Pedro, you will be a test subject. I don't know if I want to send it to the whole list where your email went to. So I might make a new newsletter thing for people that wants to be updated about live stream. I have no idea if it's even possible. I'm just presuming. I need to look into it. Oh my god, this was so much work with this lower part. I'm just glad it looks better now. It was pissing me off only when I was looking at it. So excited to get into this part here. I'm also gonna get hungry soon. I just ate 2 avocados. So. Nah, I don't know if my work is worth putting into museum. There's so many artists out there that are better than me that nobody knows about. But thank you, that's a very nice compliment. I watched this documentary about Batman, and it's called Batman and Bill. It's about one of the people that helped with the creation of Batman, and he never got credited for it, so the family has fought to make sure that his name gets into the credit. And it's so sad to see how this brilliant artist was just, he basically died all alone in his apartment, and nobody even knew that he was the one that helped with the creation of the Batman. And Batman is a big figure, everybody knows the Batman. So sometimes life is not fair. So I'm glad that someone thinks of me that way. So thank you, Zezi. Appreciate it. Batman is DC, by the way. Not that it matters, it's a superhero comic anyways. But apparently, as I know, DC is much better at giving recognition to the artist that created the superhero. Marvel is just really bad at it. So let's do also this. Yeah. Lower the contrast a little bit. I want to see how I can make this bunny rabbit over here stand out a little bit more from the background. Let's see. There you go. That works a bit better. My streams are a little bit too long. Ooh, yeah, there you go. My battery just died. Need to change. Ow. With this occasion, I can also stretch a little bit. Oh, those were my bones. Let's put in the new battery. There you go. We've been streaming for almost 3 hours. Yeah, I know you like Japanese anime and manga. I like those too. They're really fun to watch. Okay, let's go back into here. And here I thought that this drawing might end today. Nope. Still a long way to go. Yeah, I know what you mean. I mean, I think it's the same thing with comic books. I know that there's a difference between comic books and the way manga, or how you call it, anime. Well, it's actually the manga that's drawn like that, like comic books. So I think it's the same thing, it's just a different approach to the subject. It depends what comic books you've been reading. I can't say that I've been reading a lot of comic books, but I know that there's some very good comic books out there. There's nothing wrong with using references. I mean, I can draw from imagination, but it's not gonna be as good as this. I mean, I've been having references when handling all of this. I'm manipulating it and changing it to serve my needs. It's okay as well, but I have nothing against. If that's what they enjoy doing, it's fine. Not everybody, I don't think everybody should draw from imagination like a god. I mean, there will always be someone better than you. Just don't forget to have fun with it. That's all I can say. Yeah, he just draws what he sees. I mean, I admire people that draws from imagination. I think it's insane how some people can achieve movement through that. But these people that can draw so good from imagination, they're quite unique. They're very special, I think. Like Kim Jun-ji, for example. He's a very special cookie. I know I will never be like him. Maybe I will work as hard as he did, but I might still never reach that level. It's how it is. Can't do much about it. Even they use references, you know. I mean, they draw cartoons. It's a certain style. That's the thing. You need to understand that everybody has their own, you know, preferences and what they like doing. This mangaka, Japanese artist that you're talking about, that's what they like. That's what they find interest in. Maybe, for example, I know a lot of artists that can draw from imagination, but if I ask them to draw a portrait of a certain person, they really can't do it. Because again, it's a different approach when you're trying to draw someone from life and a random character that, like for example, most of the anime, that's one reason I kind of like Naruto. Most of the anime right now, it's utterly boring. Same face everywhere, it's just the hair of the color is different. That's nothing original in it. I find it very sterile and boring. So lately, nowadays, for me, anime, the latest episodes, most of them, they're really utterly uninteresting for me. Yeah, I know what you mean, but that's their interest. If you ask some other fine artist that, I don't know, for example, I don't think most fine artists can really do what manga artists can do, to be honest. Because again, it's a different skill, it's a different study they've done. In a way, I think it's hard to compare fine artists with comic book artists. Well, it depends on what artist you're picking on. But for example, I've never done comic books. My boyfriend does comic books, and I can see how difficult it is to do all of that, to see a movie in your head and create, you know, like a scene for just still images. It's not easy at all. And at a point I was telling that to my boyfriend, like, I would never be able to do what you're doing. And then he just told me, it's because that's not your interest, that's mine. So I've been working on it, I've been studying on it. That's one reason I excel in this field than you. You excelled in the field of the fine arts, because that's where your passion went to. So I've learned the hard way to not judge people. Oh, you're not using references? That's fine. It's fine. If that's what you want to do, it's okay. But if you want to be a concept artist, if you want to be an animator, you need to be able to do more than just copying. You have to imagine things, have a sense of design, a sense of functionality, and so on. I used to not be able to draw like this. Lately, I think I've been very influenced by Japanese artists. And I mean, I usually don't do ink. I do pencil and oils. I think this is the very first ink drawing I've ever done this big. and it was so much fun, and I've learned so much by doing it. But what sells the best is oil paintings, to be honest. I mean, or maybe, I don't know. I don't have a name to really say, because I know a lot of comic books artists and fine and illustrators that are much better than me, that really has a hard times coping with existence, you know, like economy and all that stuff. Yeah, it's very fun. I really enjoy doing pencil work. And I used to have no patience working with pencil, actually. I think this year has been a very fun year for me because I got to know pencil a little bit more and work quite slowly to get inside the image something that I like and I want to portray. Because some people go like, oh, what does this image represents for you? And then I want to ask them, well, what does a selfie represents for you? When you take a selfie, why do you do it? Why do you show selfies to the world? What's the point of it? It's something, you know, it represents a certain someone, a certain aspect of their beauty, because most selfies nowadays are about duck lips and being as sexy as possible in it. So sometimes when people asks me that, I just want to ask them, why do you take a selfie? Why do you post a picture of yourself on the internet? Why? Because you want to show who you are. It's the same thing with a portrait painting, or just something simple as a still life. That's how I see it. Maybe I'm wrong. I think all forms of art are hard, to be honest. In the end, what matters is what you like doing. So just create and have fun with it. That's how I try to see art now. That's fun. I used to draw a lot of anime as well when I was younger. But then my interest changed. I wanted to learn Japanese and go to Japan. That would have been fun. But it didn't happen. Well, I don't know what to say because I haven't seen your work, or maybe I have. But you need to know the fundamentals, and it's good to go. I know you're gonna hate me saying this, but it's good for you to study from life, meaning copy, so you can understand how forms turns a little bit more if you want to draw. I think you have heard of Ruan Jia. He does this kind of anime kind of portraits quite realistically, and you can see that he has a lot of fundamentals behind his drawings. Yeah, I see. You have a job. You're trying to make a living and family and friends. I know it's not easy. 1 second. I'll write it to you. I'm actually gonna look for him just to make sure. No, you don't. Okay, then I misunderstood you. Here you go. Check that guy out. I really like his work. And he does it digitally as well, which is very interesting because it almost looks like a painting. Yeah, I just like drawing. Well, I guess it's hard to keep yourself motivated. You may ask. I'm Romanian. Nope. Not at all. English is the language to go, or Chinese, or even Spanish, depending on where you want to live. Just my country. Romanian is not that interesting of a language. It's not considered a very important country, I guess, if I understand what you're saying. But I mean, it's not a hard language, I think, in comparison to Swedish. I think Swedish is way harder because of the pronunciation. Romanian is quite easy to pronounce. Yeah, pretty much. Well, at least you're trying. In my country, in Romania, not many people speaks English. I can't say that my English is the best. I make a lot of mistakes as well. And I make myself misunderstood because I tend to translate from Romanian directly, you know, like motamu, how we say it in Romanian. It makes no sense, and people misunderstands me. Well, at least you're practicing. I understand, I'm the same sometimes. And I live in Sweden, so it's really hard to go by because I need to learn the language, even though most Swedish people speak English quite fluently, since they learn the language pretty early.
Tja!
Hey Henrik.
Hello.
Hey. Streaming.
Yeah, I understood that.
But I will have to take a break soon. I'm kind of losing my mind with this one. I think Zezi, with time, the more you speak the language, the more you will understand it. Again, I can't say that I speak English the best. I mean, sometimes I really miss speaking my own language. But, yeah. Again, where did you live, Zezi? Can you tell me again? Quite. I need to check, I don't know where that is. I'll be done soon, Henrik.
That's fine.
Oh yes, you're pretty far away. Yeah, that is really far. The most I can actually go, I think I visit Turkey, and we went on top of the bridge, so we got inside Asia. That was the first time I was in Asia. Hey Henrik.
Hello.
But guys, I actually need to stop. I need to eat, drink some water, and relax my eyes because they really hurt actually. Yeah, we've been talking about comic books, Henrik.
Oh, nice. What comic books?
Well, I was talking about the documentary with Batman and...
Batman and Bill?
Yeah. That it's really sad.
Yeah.
Because we're all trying to make a living, and then you think about Batman. Oh my god.
Uh-huh.
And then you see the story a little bit more, and you just get so freaking sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People should also watch the documentary about Frank Quietly.
Frank Quietly?
Yeah. It's kind of depressing.
An artist as well?
Ja.
Oh lord. I have to watch it. Okay, guys. I'm oh my god. I'm gonna stop now. I'm gonna show you guys what has happened here. Ding, ding, ding. Ow. Okay. And then I'm gonna eat. So we've been going on for 3 hours. And I streamed before as well.
Nice.
Ta-da! Well, the light is not very good. But today I worked on this. And I've solved a lot of problems into here. So that's about it. And you can see it's a pretty big drawing. That's my hand. And I have quite big, long fingers. Okay, guys. Well, I'll see you guys next time when it happens. I think tomorrow I'm just gonna take it easy and just try to finish this one. I might possibly do the streaming because maybe you guys want to see how I do the clouds again. So that can be quite fun for you guys to see. So, it was really fun. Yeah, take care guys. Ciao ciao. Ding, ding, ding.